What's going on? Wrestling in the basement. Great Balls of Fire edition. Thor and Brian, what up? Wow. Honestly, hats off to you, WWE. That was a heck of a pay-per-view. I don't think anybody expected it to be that good. Mm-hmm. Top to bottom, not really a bad match.
Oh, not wow.
I mean,
you could argue one match wasn't good.
There were some softer matches in
that
there.
one match, the second to last match.
Second to the last? Third to the last? Ambrose Miz?
No.
Roman Braun?
No.
Sasha Alexa?
What was his name?
Kurt. Oh, yeah. Curtis Hawkins versus Heath Slater.
Yeah.
That match didn't really happen. We'll get to that. We will get to that. So technically, yes, there was one awful match, but nobody watched it. So let's start off pre-show. Neville versus Kira Tozawa. I was running into Cordoba, so you watched this match. What happened? I got who won. Yes?
It was just a...
Nope.
Exactly, I guess what we expect out of the cruiserweights. Very active, a lot of high flying, but it was a very solid, reasonably...
Well, they got a lot of time, right?
Yeah, like 30 minutes, dude. Titus was down there being annoying.
With it, I don't love that the Cruiserweight Championship was defended on the pre-show, but if they're going to give them the time, it reminds me, again, the Cruiserweight division reminds me where we were with the women's division a while back. So let's see.
Yeah, but the women's division never had that much time.
That's true.
That's honestly the one caveat. Okay, so technically it's not Raw or SmackDown, right? Isn't it its own thing?
Yeah.
You put it in the pre-show, you give it way more time than it...
That's the thing. It needs to not be its own thing. It just... Whatever. We can do a whole video just on that.
Do you think they're going to do a Cruiserweight pay-per-view?
No.
Yeah,
it's not popular enough. How could they... How could they justify that?
I was just asking.
No, I'm just saying no. So I think hashtag Enzo on 205 Live. Let's get Enzo Amore now on 205 Live as a cruiserweight. Mm-hmm. He can be a cruiserweight because they let go of Austin Aries.
Yep.
Neville's still champion. We don't have any good face of the cruiserweights besides Neville. He's the heel. So if you brought Enzo, instant, and he's already got the built-in. Either way. So hashtag Enzo on 205 Live, everyone, for me. So let's go to the main show. Started off Bray and Rollins. Good match, really good match. Bray won. I'm shocked. I was literally telling you right before the pinfall, no way Bray's gonna win. They always screw Bray.
Right.
WWE hates Bray Wyatt.
What did I say?
And then you said they gave him the title.
Yes.
What else?
Then he won.
And then he won. He got the pinfall. He gave a eye poke or a rake of the eyes and got the pinfall.
So it was technically cheatsy doodle. So it'll be the reason to explain it, but it's not that.
It was a brutal match though. Bray dominated for the majority of the match and won. This will be a theme throughout. The brutality of this pay-per-view is what sticks out the most to me, realistically. So let's move on. Enzo and Big Cass was next. Enzo came out, cut another amazing promo. The promos he's cut in the last 2 weeks, or in the last week, the one he cut on Raw, the one he cut tonight, are both just, these are next level promos. You know what I mean? If he is going to be a star. I think 205 Live is the right spot for him. Just saying. Hashtag Enzo on 205 Live.
Oh my
but Enzo versus Big Cass. Cass just destroyed him. Destroyed him. That was, again, the brutality of the match. Cass wins. Easy. It's fine. On the Talking Smack, he said this feud's over, which definitely means this feud's going to continue. But once this feud is over, hashtag Enzo on 205 Live. So then we got the 30-minute Iron Man tag team match. The Hardy Boys versus Sheamus and Cesaro. We got blood in this. Someone broke probably their orbital bone. Matt Hardy, it was awful. But this was a hell of a match. It started off with a real quick pinfall. And then Sheamus and Cesaro were up 3-1 at one point, right?
Yeah.
2-0 and then 3-1. It ended up being tied 3-3 with like 2 minutes to go. And the last 2 minutes of that match are just some of the best wrestling I've seen in a long time. And then when Hardy jumps off the rope and he smoked his face on Cesaro's head.
Sheamus's head.
On Sheamus's head and busted that bone like right here. But it was big and it was gushing.
And it looked like stuff
blood
was poking out, dude.
It did. It looked bad. It looked real bad.
Well, and then I even mentioned it while we were watching it. They do the pinfall or whatever, and then it looks like, or he's gonna chase him around, and then but before he does that, they like look at Matt, and he like shakes his head
no,
like
he can't do it.
like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it. Like I'm like can't see out of this eye, like bad. So there might have been. I think the ending would have been the same, just different wrestlers doing different things, but it could have ended in a tie. It could have been what was supposed to happen.
It might have been like a fire drill ending, but it seemed like it was the right ending. I like the ending. They really are selling the broken thing. Matt cut a promo. The Hardy Boys cut a promo earlier before the match, and Matt was really it felt like a more of a broken gimmick type thing. It was like watching superheroes with his sons, and they're super villains, and it was getting a little weird. And he was doing the delete thing again, heavy, which they kind of gotten away from.
Well, and if anything, him busting up his face can be used as more like
why he goes broken,
right? Because he
that
like
could be,
effed up his head.
That could be an interesting angle, depending upon if he's actually injured and he's out for a duration. You know what I mean? If he's injured, let's say he's out like 3 months, that's going to hurt slow momentum. If he's not, and it's like, let's say a month or so, but you take him away, let Jeff get some singles run going. But like we said, they need tag teams on Raw.
Right.
It was so weird how the Raw tag team division was so strong a while ago and SmackDown was so weak. Fast forward to now, the SmackDown tag team division is on fire. The Raw tag team division seems a little stale outside of these two.
Well,
because who
and
else you got? Revival, Club,
taking
Enzo
them
and Cass
away.
now are broken up.
That's the problem. They're breaking up their good ones because
New Day went to SmackDown and killing it over there. I still need to watch SmackDown from the last couple of weeks, but that's another story. So then after that match, Sheamus and Cesaro win, by the way. 4-3, which is, like I said, the right call. We got Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks. There were some awful looking spots in this. I mean, not awful bad. I mean, just like awfully painful looking spots.
it reminds me of when the women first started their like we're
women's
going to do the
revolution.
revolution
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
and we were watching matches, and I'm like, dude, these matches are like really brutal. Like they look like they're being mean to each other. That's what this reminded
as
me
you
of.
said, Alexa Bliss looked like she was just bending Sasha in all sorts of weird ways. And then after the match, because Sasha wins via count out because Alexa intentionally got herself counted out, she chased her down the runway, hits her with something, jumps off the table, double knee off the table. Brutal spots, just brutal spots in this match.
Corey Graves in there stabbed Alexa Bliss in her black heart or something is what he said.
Yep, that was dude. Corey Graves on fire tonight.
Well,
Let's
and
be
even
real.
that one arm thing Alexa Bliss did was pretty
Oh
sick
yeah,
too.
she like looked like she had like dislocated her arm. It literally looked like her arm was like.
I was
effed
like,
up.
because she did something weird to her arm, and
And
we
you
had
couldn't
just
tell.
watched the
she
tag
must
thing.
be like double jointed,
Right.
Because it was so weird, so weird.
It was like, dude,
Ugh.
did she just get like completely annihilated on accident there? And then she just boom, sneaky attack.
You almost thought it was a really bad botch where she like snapped her arm and it was like literally bent the wrong direction.
Right, yeah.
And then she just smokes her with her elbow. And it was like, that is some brilliant stuff right there.
Yeah.
Really solid. Then Miz Ambrose was a good match. It was a good match. We've seen it way too many times. God, I hope this is the end. Miz won again. This has to be the end of this feud. I would love to see Miz and Finn Balor.
Yeah?
If you're not going to put Finn in the title, if you're not going to put him in the Universal title picture right now, which I don't think he fits into, him in the IC title picture works. Because let's just say, as good as this was from top to bottom, no Finn Balor on this card is a travesty. I'm just going to say that. You know what I mean? But it was an amazing pay-per-view nonetheless. So, Miz and Ambrose, anything you want to throw in there? The Miz Taraj looked really stupid. And I
don't
hate
know.
that name.
It was a solid match still.
The
I
it
thought
kicks.
for sure because we were like, this match is going to be like, yeah, Ambrose started bleeding, didn't he? In
the
his
mouth.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're like, this match is going to be like the weakest on the card. And it
Not
was
so.
still really solid and still fit that brutal sort of
tone that we've had the whole pay-per-view. So, all right, let's move on. Roman Braun. I mean, ambulance match. The majority of the match was good. It was a good match. The ending and what happened afterwards, that's the story. That's the headline. So Roman has Braun after a Superman punch like in the ambulance, like leaning back, and he's like backing up and he like runs for a spear and Braun just literally olays him like a freaking matador and Roman dives into the ambulance. Braun shuts the door, and he's winner. Like, it was the really brutal match leading up to that, too. There's a bunch of great spots. But then there was that. So then Braun is driving. Did he? No. Braun didn't leave yet. So then Braun's, like, celebrating. Roman jumps out of the ambulance, starts beating Braun, throws him in the back of the ambulance, takes off. Gets into the parking garage.
Yeah, not after he first like hurts this old guy who's sitting in the ambulance.
Throws some old
spot.
dude out of the driver's seat, jumps in the driver's seat, pulls into the parking ramp, or in the parking garage underneath the stadium, wherever they were in Texas. Sitting there, and he's like, has this really weird look on his face. And like, really weird look. Then all of a sudden they go to like the outside shot, and he throws it into reverse, and he guns it right into a semi-trailer, and just destroys the ambulance from the back with Braun in it, quote unquote. So then they like had it back on that for a long time. They're like trying to get the door open, but they can't because the door is jammed, but it didn't look like it should have been jammed. And then they cut to the ring, and that's when we got the Curtis Hawkins versus Heath Slater match, when everyone's chanting like, we want Balor, which I loved, because they could have literally just had Balor's entrance and Kurt Hawkins. He could have hit one move and just been done, or Heath Slater, either one. But they had those two, and they actually had like a match for like a few minutes, like, but nobody was paying attention because they had the split screen for a while. Then they went to just the match. Then you heard the sirens from the fire and the other ambulance coming in, so they cut back to the back, and then they pulled out the Jaws of Life to open the ambulance, and then Braun comes out, and he's like bleeding. He's got blood everywhere. He's got a bandage on his arm that wasn't there before. Not a bandage, but like a white wrap. It could have been under his black one, but whatever. He comes crawling out, and he like just stumbles off and's like, "Don't touch me."
Yeah,
and
leave me alone.
Leave me alone, and then just disappears into the night. It was fucking amazing. I mean, I'm sorry, that was some good stuff. Like it was solid.
Roman heel turn. That's what this was.
I don't know if it's exactly
he
that.
He just smashed a guy in. The guy was in an ambulance, and he backed it into a trailer and like annihilated him.
Him and Braun have had, you know what I mean?
What happened?
I know.
Bret Hart's mean to friggin' Stone
saying.
Cold. He's bleeding. Everybody likes it. Double turn, right?
Double.
Okay, you can't tell me you almost kill a guy in an ambulance. You're not the bad guy.
And then Braun climbs out like some sort of, juggernaut. Whatever. We'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow night on Monday. But it was a really good match, and Braun won, which is that's the takeaway for me is they let Braun win. Even though Roman still got to look super strong after the match.
Well, you're driving an ambulance. It's a pretty easy match win.
And then the final, Joe versus Brock. Brian, take it away.
This match was sick, dude.
This match was
didn't even start, and frickin' when Joe throws him over, he attacks him from behind. Throws him
knocks
over.
Knocks him out of the ring.
That looked rough, dude.
It did. Yep.
Then throws him through a table. Match hasn't even started yet. Bell not even rung. He throws him through a table.
It almost looked like a rock bottom type slam on the announce table. And then Brock climbs back in. The match starts. Joe almost gets the coquina clutch on him like, 3 times?
He pretty much does. Like, Brock's face is like blue.
And then dominated for a good portion of that beginning. It was like a 10-minute match, and for a Brock match, it seems like way long.
It was basically right when Brock pulled that hilarious little scuttle out from under Joe's legs. That's when the match turned around.
They were in the corner, and he was going for the coquina clutch again. Brock drops down to the mat, slides under Joe's leg, jumps up, hits him with a German, hits him with another German, takes control. F5 comes shortly after that. Brock retains. Top to bottom. I mean, I'm going solid A.
Well, and that match was super technical.
Yeah.
While still having, our more wrestling moves.
Brutal ass spots in it. Brutality is the phrase of the evening, folks. And like I said, this pay-per-view for me gets a solid A.
Yeah,
solid A.
That was a mean pay-per-view,
WWE, if you keep this momentum going into SummerSlam.
Keep your great balls of fire going, guys.
Oof, that was oof. But yeah, totally. Awful name for a pay-per-view, and they really drove it down your throat. The intro to the pay-per-view
it's almost
was like
they knew it sucked.
It was like 30-minute long intro to the pay-per-view, and it was like all like about 50s, like whatever. Either way, but if they're gonna keep this momentum going, SummerSlam, hell yeah, let's go. SmackDown, I haven't watched like I said in a couple of weeks, but we got Battleground 2 weeks away, so we'll see about that one.
There's no way they're gonna follow up this awesome pay-per-view with trash. There's no way. They'd
they
be
shouldn't.
foolish.
That would be a bad move. But I don't even know what the card's looking like for Battleground. So we'll need to assess the situation and get back to you. But until the next video, like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere. Thor and Brian. Deuces.